Good morning.
Good morning.
It is day 7.
Our last day.
Yes, our last day in Jeju. So we're starting off by going to the Jeju Henya Museum. The Henya are the sea divers, the women sea divers in Jeju. They're a UNESCO heritage site of Korea and they're specific to Jeju. This doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. So we're going to the museum. We're getting very annoyed with public transport in Jeju. Combination of, I don't know what the problem is with Naver Maps or the buses themselves, but it's happened to us 3 or 4 times when we've been on a bus and Naver Maps, which is like Korean Google Maps, which is very trusted for this kind of stuff. We've been on the bus and they've changed the route in the middle of the drive. Like, they've decided to not go to certain stops, they've decided to not take certain turns, they've decided to change the route in the middle of the bus ride, or the Naver route doesn't match up with the actual bus route, so that's very, very annoying. Yeah, there's like nothing we can really do about it. So anyways, we were supposed to get off at the Henya Museum stop, but he decided to skip that one, didn't make the turn onto the road that stop is on. So now we're walking there. We just got off at a random stop that was pretty close, and now we're on our way. So this is a Henya statue. The Henya are holding the flag of South Korea. You can't really see it well, but yeah, pretty cool. This is a really cool statue honoring them. They have busts of 3 women from like the 30s-ish, probably born in the early 1900s, yeah. They were Henya during the Japanese colonial period within Korea, and they protested against the corruption of the Henya Corporation, the Jeju Henya Corporation, that was corrupted during the Japanese rule, and they were arrested for protesting one day. So here are these ladies. They have a Henya song playing. They sing before they go fishing. And if you watch one of our vlogs from the other day, we went to see some Henya and they sang for us before they...
They did like a little performance for us.
Yeah. And the song is to like pray and hope for good harvest and a safe harvest. We're in the museum and they're making us watch an informational video first.
It's their first day of diving season after the long sea break. All Henya had to raise her children and support her family diving and catching seafood. The Henya visitors searching for better life over the horizon of Jeju. The rapid decrease of Jeju Henya is worrisome.
I've had that. We've had that. We've seen that. We didn't try that. But we've also seen these guys alive in some rocks. We haven't eaten them though.
So Henya has been part of Jeju's island culture since at least 1702, when this painting was painted, and you can see the Henya in the painting. And what's interesting is here in this room we're learning about the equipment they used. They didn't use regular wetsuits, like rubber wetsuits for diving, until the 70s. So they were wearing things like that, just cloth, for the longest time. And apparently they didn't use goggles until the late 1800s or early 1900s. And when they did use them, they were made of metal. And only in the 70s, when the wetsuit was introduced, did they start making them out of rubber. So these women were diving in cloth without masks and oxygen. They still don't dive with oxygen tanks. They were diving in cloth, like jumpers, with no goggles for a very, very long time. So this exhibit explains the story of the 3 busts of the women we saw outside, the patriotic anti-Japanese colonial rule. Henya were arrested for protesting against Japanese imperialism, and 5 of Henya claimed leadership, so they would be arrested longer, and their other Henya would be released. And it looks like they were awarded medals by the Korean government after the Japanese imperial rule ended in Korea. Really, really cool history. That's really, really cool. So something we didn't mention before is that the Henya start their training when they're like 7 or 8 years old, and they continue diving, most of them until their 70s. There are even some Henya that are working in their 80s, still diving like this and catching the food. So it's a lifelong career. They're very, very skilled, and yeah. In this room, they have video stories you can listen to from a bunch of Henya, elderly Henya. We are finished at the Henya Museum, and now we're going to the Manjanggul Caves. Yeah, Manjanggul. They're caves and lava tubes. It should be really cool. And of course, it's raining again. Okay, we're here. So we have 2 things on our itinerary: the Manjanggul Cave and the Manjanggul lava tube. We don't know if they're the same place or not. We don't know if the lava tube is inside of the cave. That's what it's looking like right now. Number 9 on the map is the entrance to it, and we put in an address for Manjanggul Cave and it took us here. So we're assuming they're the same place, but we're gonna head over there now to number 9. Confirmed, the lava tube is part of the cave. Okay, so we're learning that this guy, Mr. Poo, he was an elementary school teacher and decided to take 30 of his students to go splunking into these caves without equipment. They had a few torches and shoes, so they got lost. They got lost in the cave, but apparently they were well organized enough, and the caves became known because of them. But like, why would you take elementary children into a cave that's unmarked? Like, there's the kids over there. We just want to know why. Like, what makes that a good idea? I'm glad it worked out and nobody died, but like, oh my god. It is really hard to see on camera everything in this cave, but it's really cool right now. So this is the lava tube. Apparently lava flows down from here, I think. There's a big hole right there. And this is the biggest lava tube in the world, actually. Really cool. All right, we finished the cave. We're heading to lunch now. There's a Korean restaurant on the park of this area, on the cave park. So we're just gonna eat there to save some time because we have one last stop to make and then we actually need to get our plane. Yeah. Continuing tradition of our Jeju trip, the restaurant's closed. Like, there are people inside eating, but he just came up to us and said, sorry, we're closed. It's 2 p.m. What?
I don't know why this always happens.
If you have been following the Jeju vlogs, you'll know that every single restaurant, like every night, we've had problems with restaurants not having the food we want, or restaurants being closed at a certain time that doesn't make sense, or restaurants just like being closed for good. But anyways, we have to go find somewhere to eat because we're hungry. Yes. Okay, we ate lunch. Our next thing is the Dol Harubang Gallery Park. Those are the little Jeju statues. So, show you guys when we get there. The sun's out now. Alrighty, so we're at the Dol Harubang Park Gallery. I thought it was gonna be like the stone park, like we went to the other day, if anybody's watching. Both of these vlogs, but this is more like created, like built up. The stone park was more like naturally occurring, or left the way it was found and just made into a park, where this is like built into an attraction. So yeah, it's still cool here. It's really pretty. So the Dol Harubang are the Jeju Island stone statues. If you're familiar with Jeju or South Korea, you might have seen them. They don't look like this. They have like a traditional pose, but they're meant to be like guardian statues, and they were placed around Jeju Island. There's only like 45 real ones left in South Korea as a whole, but there are tons and tons of recreations. They put them in a bunch of poses. So yeah, here we are. This guy's got big hands. Also, our orange hats are back. Yay! It's diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Peace. They spell peace literally.
Nice. I'm a big Snoopy fan, so this is making me very happy. It's Snoopy! Snoopy, Snoopy, Snoopy. Ew, bonk. Oh, his nose is made out of a Jeju rock. This one's a bird feeder, and look, I think these are just naturally rocks.
Did you get this too?
That formed. And it's a birdie and a birdie. This is a really cool one. Steph says it looks like an iron golem from Minecraft, and I say it looks like Stonejourner, the Pokemon. And this set of statues is in a band. They're playing instruments. We found a snake who's trying to take its prey, which is a frog, up to go eat it, but it's having a very hard time because it doesn't have arms or legs. So it keeps like trying to climb and then flopping down, and I kind of feel really bad for it. But it's a pretty snake. It's like orange and green. Oh,
Oh. Oh. Okay.
You got it.
He's getting there. No!
I'm about to be so sad if you fall right now.
No. No, you can't fall. Come on, dude.
Why are you going backwards? Go forwards.
It's because the frog is weighing him down, yeah. Yay! He's up. He's up. Yes, dude.
Yay, you did it.
He's so funny.
Mother Nature.
We were scared for him because there's a lot of kids behind us who are actually like being really rambunctious and yelling a lot. And kids do not have the best track record with being nice to wildlife.
Or they just don't know.
Or they just don't,
dangerous or
they don't know
not.
what's dangerous, and sometimes they don't necessarily see the difference between a toy and a living thing. So we just wanted to make sure that our little snake guy got into the bushes.
Yeah. But it was
There's a small art gallery here.
So this was our last stop in Jeju. We've spent a week here and everything has been so wonderful. It is so beautiful here. We got to do everything we wanted to do. We spent 7 days here and we hit each side of the island. We split it into like 7 slices and did each part of the island, and we did almost everything you could do here. So we had a really, really great time. It is so gorgeous here. It is so beautiful. And yeah, really recommend coming here. If you can, make it here.
Yes.
We're heading to the airport now, so there's nothing more to show.